introduce yourselves and tell us what you do at Never Changed.
Yeah.
Logan, you start, man.
I don't know. We're just a pop punk hardcore band that's starting up out down here in Canada. But yeah, we have a long history of playing together, so it's kind of like a reunition of our last band. But we're just hoping to get our name out there and play some bigger shows and stuff.
Well, me and Logan started this up in grade 6. I bought like a little drum kit that could fit under a table. And we had little student profiles, and I wrote like, oh yeah, I play drums. And I guess he was looking to start a band and hit me up, and we started playing. So I was like 12 years ago, way more, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's been a while.
So how old were you then when you first started at it?
What, like 14?
10, 11?
Damn. That is young. Yeah. Damn.
What? That's not grade 6, is it? No.
Yeah, I turned 12. No. Yeah, I turned 12 in grade 6.
Oh wow. That's so
little babies, eh?
And what were your I mean, you guys are chatting at the minute, so you can answer this one, but what were your influences then, like to start a band? Like what was like pulling the kickstart on you to make a band? Like what was in your ears?
Well, my dad always has been in bands. He's played guitar for his whole life. He kind of taught me like everything. I never like taken a formal guitar lesson, but I just his influence, and he was I was looking up at what he was doing, and I was wanting to get into it. Plus I had this other friend, Brett, who we were friends. He started playing guitar too, and we decided to start a band. So that was just kind of the genesis of the whole thing. But he didn't last long in the whole thing. So
yeah, members come and go over the years, but this group we have now was basically the core of what we had in high school.
When we're at like our peak in high school, like we back then we pretty much we're under 18, so we couldn't play bars, but there's a couple all ages venues in the city, and we had pretty consistent shows like every couple weekends or couple a month back then, and we had a decent name for ourselves.
But in terms of like bands that you were listening to, because I can think back to like when I was probably like 7 or 8 years old, I can think back to what I was listening to, and it was like Papa Roach, Slipknot. Slipknot were big on me. Lost Prophets, which is a bit of an awkward conversation these days, but like,
that's fair.
You know, I can think of like all these bands. Like, what was in your ears? Like, I'm wondering if it's the same sort of stuff that I was listening to in the UK.
I played drums for context. Papa Roach was one influence actually for me as well.
Yeah.
I liked Disturbed a lot. I was obsessed with Disturbed, Mike Wengren at first. So that was kind of my first.
We're actually into some like Aussie music back then too, like this band Carnival. They're fucking sick.
And what sort of music's that? Is that punk? Is that like metal?
No, it's like a progressive kind of like really progressive prog kind of metal stuff. And the fucking Aussies are just insane with their instruments.
Yeah, like those guys are my favorite group still. And that drummer Steve Judd is probably my biggest influence overall.
Who's that? Carnival? Carnival? Was it?
It's
Carnival.
It's like the word carnival, but with a K and then 2 L's near the end.
They're already
cool.
Yeah,
they're sweet. I think for myself, it's so I do vocals. I think for myself, like the first artist that kind of ever got me thinking like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. Like I want to perform. I would love that. There's this American alt rock band called Anne Berlin. Their vocalist Stephen Christian was probably like my biggest reason I ever got into doing music.
Really? And what was it about that? Like, is that a clean vocalist?
He did a lot of cleans. There was like they only did like a little bit of screaming on their tracks. I got into that way later.
Yeah.
But I think for him was like mostly like his lyrics and performance of his lyrics. The vocal performances just like incited such insane emotion in me. I remember just being like 13, like laying in my bed at night with my headphones in, like crying, just be like, this is so beautiful. I want to do that. I want to make people feel stuff.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's your motivation, right? And I think you've kind of got that with Never Change, with the track that I've heard. Like, you know, it's very like words I'd use to describe the sort of vocal tech. It's like it's an emotive, like a sort of desperation, I think. Like sort of in the vocals, like it's very kind of movie. And what really stands out for me in that track is the double time drums. I don't know where that's come from, but like it kind of caught me by surprise the first time I heard it, which is like one of the big hooks of the song, I think. And like you've got quite a few moments, I think, throughout the track where you get the, you know, it really sort of drives a lot of energy, but you still like keep that clean vocal, and it's layered really nicely. Like I'd be interested to hear how you recorded it, actually.
That Ryan's not gonna like it, but that track I actually did all on my laptop, and we didn't have a way of recording drums at that point, so I was just doing all the drums MIDI on my laptop, and
like pressing the buttons like this.
I programmed them, but yeah, like Ryan's actual drums make the song.
We'll be fixing that real soon.
Oh,
yeah, they sound a lot better, but I can program. For our next couple of tracks we're doing, I'm gonna still produce them. I still want to mix and do all the guitar stuff. Carl records the vocals in his own house, and he actually gets really good vocal tracks with it. And then I just mix everything. But we're gonna try to get like a drum mic set up or an electric kit or something to do drums, actual drums for the next couple tracks.
Awesome. Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not cheap recording drums, right? Like, you know, the mics you need and everything.
We have a couple buddies in this other band that might lend us a electric kit for a little bit, and it's like a good one with the and everything. So we can try that.
I've done well on that. I record most of my drums with an electric kit actually now. It's just, and then you can put easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I run it through Logic and then Superior Drummer, and you can do a lot with it. Like, you know, you can lay your drums, you make them sound huge. But I'm keen to hear from Rory. He's sat there quiet, you know.
He's insanely good. Yet. Rory's insanely good.
Yeah, there you go. That's an introduction, man.
Yeah, Rory, tell
us how good you are.
Story.
Tell us how good you are. Yeah.
Fuck no, I started out, man, with Billy Talent. That was my bread and butter right there. Like, that's how I learned how to play guitar, because those fucking beauties put all of their albums out in guitar tabs, so you could learn every song. So I literally learned every Billy Talent song. And that's like all I did.
I like Rory.
Oh, dude, I still love Billy Talent. I saw them like 3 months ago. They're still rad.
Dude, I was only like yesterday, I was playing around with Billy Talent tones. Just their guitar tones. Fuck, they absolutely tear shit up like razors. Like,
they're like super clean, but then they get dirty. I don't know how he does it, but that style of like rhythm and lead at the same time has been like super important. Like, that's how Logan's written all these songs too, and like how he's had to play them. Because like I haven't played a show with them yet, but I finally learned all the songs. So now we have rhythm and lead, but both me and Logan have kind of like had that rhythm and lead style like our whole lives, you know.
So how's that working in the band now? Like, is someone like dominating the lead, someone dominating the rhythm? Are you guys both like you know, flexing between playing rhythm and lead?
As it is right now, Rory learned all the kind of the rhythms of the songs, but I want to like get some parts where we trade off and stuff, because I sing harmonies too, and I've gotten used to singing them while playing the rhythms. So a lot of my leads aren't hard either. Like, I'm not a shredder or anything. I just kind of play some catchy sounding stuff. So
so catchy.
That works. Yeah. Oh no, seriously, that works. Like that works so much. Like, you know, it doesn't need to be shredded like to make a fucking killer song. And I think that's probably why I lean into punk more than metal. I started leaning into punk more than metal, is that like I used to be really into metal when I was a kid. You know, I did until I was about 15, 16. And I played more into punk, and it was like I didn't feel this like overwhelming need to play really fast and like do all these different fucking scales and stuff. It was actually like I can play some interesting chords, put a simple lead line over it, and you know, as long as you're thinking about it, you can really go anywhere. Which it's quite interesting that like there was the whole idea that punk was dead and everything. I'd be interested to get your feelings on this, but like especially at the moment, and like the number of bands that I'm talking to and I'm discovering like literally every day that are popping up everywhere. Like at the moment, it feels like punk has never been more alive. Like I know of punk bands that are struggling to get gigs because there's like backlogs of like festivals that have been cancelled. Now like 10 more bands have come out like in that year, and they're trying to get them on, and like it seems like this genre is really, really, really popping at the minute. And why is that?
We just recently played a Blink-182 themed show, and it was packed.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, pop punk especially, I feel like is making a huge comeback with like Machine Gun Kelly's new album and all this stuff and things like that. It's actually funny though. Back in when we first kind of were playing in high school. Speaking for myself, I wasn't like into punk or pop punk. I actually did not like pop punk at all, and we played like kind of rap rock type stuff back then, like Rage Against the Machine and Linkin Park type vibes.
Cool.
But after we broke up, I got really into like pop punk and stuff, and Story So Far, like Neck Deep, all these different bands like that. And I don't know, pop punk was really like a big thing back in like 2015, I feel like here.
Yeah.
And then it kind of died out, but now it's definitely making a comeback, I think.
I'm seeing it in like all strains of punk. Like I'm a really big I'd say like of all the punks, it's crazy like talking in this much detail, but like I'm probably leaning more into like melodic punk, like Wilhelm Scream and Strung Out, and like Belvedere. We got Fair Dues over here in the UK, which were another big inspiration. But like it seems like, you know, I'm talking to shitloads of pop punk bands, melodic punk, like really weird punk as well. It's like kind of noisy, like 2-man bands. I'm seeing like fucking loads of them popping up all over the place as well. But yeah, like I think it's a good time. It's a good time for the genre. And obviously you guys are popping up, and you got a new EP coming out, right? That's what you're working on at the moment.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that. Like what's the deal? You know, how many tracks we're gonna have, and when we expecting the release?
It's all kind of tentative right now, I think. But we're figuring out if we want to do like an EP or a full-length album. I'm kind of thinking like a 3 to 4 song EP to start it off, just to drop it and then do an album after. But like I said, I'm probably gonna try to record everything for the next EP. So it's just kind of whenever we get around to it, nail everyone's schedules down and stuff, and do that. But we definitely need to figure out the drum situation first thing, because we need a solid drum tracks to start the basis of everything. So
we do have like 7 to 8 songs though, like down at the moment, so we have enough for an album if we want to push it.
And since November too, like we've been doing a lot of writing.
Yeah, because you guys have been playing shows, right? Like I'm guessing you've got material there.
We actually just started playing shows, like we just had our 5th show or something, I think. And we started, when was the first Broken City show? Like in like April or something?
Yeah, something like that. It was April.
Yeah, so we had our first show in April, and I don't know, it's just we got together in November and we just jamming every week, basically writing stuff, nailing down a set, and then once the show was first show started, the other ones kind of started coming in. It was like a momentum thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we hit the ground running, right? Because we had all that. We played a lot of all age shows when we were kids. So
yeah, we definitely had
really 5 shows, but
yeah. Have you
No,
got any more shows coming up as well? Like for anyone in Canada that's watching this that can make them, like is there any dates you want to throw out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got them right here. My little planner here. I think our next one is July 10th. We're playing to the Blind Beggar with our friends Mile West, and I can't remember the other artist who's playing with us.
The Blind Beggar is a notorious, massive venue in Calgary. It's where all the biggest acts go.
It's a dive bar, isn't it? It's a dive bar.
It totally is, yeah.
Yeah, the sound guy always lets you play really loud.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that one.
We got Broken City on the 22nd too, which is one of our favorite venues to play at right now. It's a smaller kind of dive bar too, but it always just is packed and great sound.
Awesome. Yeah, there's some of the best shows I've had, like I've been in the smallest bars, and like not even bars, like some of the best shows I've played were probably like when I was your age, when I first started a band. Like we play houses and just like anywhere that we could. And
no, we want to like we jam at our bassist house, like I said, and we want to kind of throw a little house party there at one time and get some video footage of a little, and for a music video or something like that would be dope.
I hope you're paying for damages, man, because
what the fuck is up, Denny's?
Coming through the wall. And for anyone that's watching this out there, these guys have got an EP coming up. It's called Fucking Music. It's for fans of Day to Remember. I think that's fair. 4 years strong, neck deep. Set your scores. Another influence there, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. A lot of some of our newer stuff too is like getting into more like metalcore territory.
Hell yeah, getting darker. I like that's an interesting point as well. Like I've spoken to quite a few punk bands that have said like their recent material has been a bit more emo and like a bit of a throwback to like the Black Eyes of like maybe like 2012 2013 when like emo rocky punk, like I don't want to say the name of the band that like I've got on the tip of my tongue because I fucking hate them, but something to do with chemicals and romance, but like everyone's writing a little bit dark at the moment, it seems like. I mean, have you guys found like any influence of that, like in the past couple of years with what's been going on in the world? Have you found like writing has been any darker than it might have been if things were different?
I mean, as far as like lyrically goes for myself, I know like I've been trying to write stuff that you could pull some like hope out of, or some kind of like lesson, because like we got some of the darker songs too, like Make It Mean Something and Release Pain and all those ones. Like Release Pain, Release Pain's like pretty aggro sounding, but the lyrics are actually about like not allowing past hurts to affect present relationship. And that's kind of like lyrically what it's all about. Make It Mean Something's also kind of about like trying to like give advice to someone you'd seen walking down a path you'd been before you wish you hadn't, or wish you could do something differently with. So that's kind of what I've been trying to aim towards too, is like, I got just so much material out there that's just like, it's just dark, or it just dwells and broods in places that probably aren't too healthy to stay in. And so I'm trying to like actively write something not necessarily counter to that, but can still like encapsulate those darker feelings, that sorrow, that despair, but like hopefully leave a trajectory out of those places.
That is such a nice way of describing that. Like, and when I was saying like, I think the single that you've released at the moment, like, I think I used the word desperation. Like, desperation is like, I think it's like a co-sister with hope. And like when you said that, like it's kind of a hope, it's a reflection, it's an advisory of like, you know, being down that path, here's what happened, like, you know, here's an uplifting kind of song to like guide you on, you know, showing some advice. I think that is a really, really nice way of describing like your songwriting. Actually, I think that's really cool.
And one thing I love about Prepare for the Fall too, I got this one friend Tanner. He's like, you know, he's a G. Like he wears nothing but Nike. He listens to so much hip hop and stuff, but he's always showing up at these shows, and he's always just shouting, "Play Prepare for the Fall, play Prepare for the Fall." And I was asking him like, what about that song do you love so much? Because like this really isn't in the realm of the things I usually hear you listening to it. And he's saying like that he loves the song because it makes him just want to like throw all of his fear away and just pursue his dreams and the things he wants. And I just found that like so immensely encouraging.
That is such a fucking accomplishment. Like to give someone like that feeling from music. No, seriously, like that is really, really fucking cool. Man, like that is really, really sick.
It just warms my jellies, man. Just warms my jellies.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Carl's songwriting is next level too. Like you said, some of those, like the heavier ones we're doing, Release Pain and the Make It Mean Something, that one hasn't been released yet, but they sound like your typical like breakdown metalcore song, kind of with like a little twist, and there's like heavy as hell. But when I didn't even realize it till I read through some of the lyric files, I was like, damn, these songs actually have good like meaning to them and everything, and like seeing the lyrics like written out is awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. There's so much music that you listen to and like you play the audio waves, but you never actually stop and listen to the words. I think that's something that you discover when you get a bit more intimate with the band. I know for sure that I'd be guilty of that. Like there's loads of bands that I've listened to and I would talk about them with my friends and say this band's awesome, but like I've never actually stopped and gone like, what are they actually saying to me? And I think with some bands it's a bit more obvious, but with some you have to dig and you kind of have to find what they're saying like within the words. You need to read between the lines. But I think there's a degree of both of those with the track that I've heard from you guys. Like I say, like I found it quite easy to describe what I was hearing. I think hearing, the songwriter Carl like tell me like, the intention of how you're writing music is really fucking cool. And I think that is a really, really cool piece of this interview. Like this is what this is about. Like it's
and the other thing too is like I am like Logan writes most of the parts, uploads the MP3 to our Dropbox and kind of listen to it. It's like at the get-go I have insanely good like material to use for writing all this stuff. Like awesome. If we didn't have his brains behind all that behind all the writing for the instrumental parts, like I wouldn't be able to come up with necessarily the same quality of material, because I'm just given this already mostly finished, like beautiful polished piece that I can write to, and it makes a world of a difference. Because like I before this I was doing a lot of solo stuff too beforehand, and like it is so hard to write really good catchy instrumental pieces, and then on top of that have to write to them and try to use it to convey an emotion or a meaning. It's like the only reason I can do what I do is because I have wonderful musicians to play with who are just coming out with the most excellent stuff, and people always got really awesome stuff to say about you guys every time we come off the stage and I'm talking to the crowd or whatever, people in the smoke pit. Like everybody's always mentioning like how tight the licks are and how awesome they are. Everyone's talking about how tight Ryan is, because it's really hard to find a good drummer. You play so many local shows with really, really shitty drummers, and it shows. Like it stands out when you have a really, really excellent and powerful drummer.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, like what you're describing applies to me as well, right? Like, we were praising the drum parts earlier. I wish I could take credit for them, but again, Logan comes up with the initial idea, right? It comes into his head as he's writing the guitar parts as well. And it just provides a really great foundation to build from. And the beats change. Like I don't play them the same live, but it's similar, and it's a really great jumping off point, you know.
I mean, this is quite a dark question here, and I'm going to throw like this is one of my curveballs. But it sounds like Logan's, you know, pretty multi-talented with being able to like create a substance that Carl, like, you can write off. Ryan, like, it gives you a bit of like inspiration for how your drumming works. Logan, I wish you no bad health at all, man, because you seem like a lovely dude. But let's say that Logan comes out of his house tomorrow and gets hit by a bus. How does the writing change?
I feel like Rory actually.
Wow,
it's gonna be awful. I feel like we probably
Yeah, first song after that is Logan got hit by a bus.
Become a thrash metal band, really angry.
Yeah.
I feel like it would change a lot.
Oh, it changed a lot. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Really,
like I've always written music too, but my writing style is like a completely different like genre, basically. So like, I don't know, because there's a few songs that we're working on now that aren't actually finished, and when I listen to them, like what I hear on top of it is probably completely different from what like the other guys are hearing, but it's still like, I don't know, it's just awesome to like have those different influences, I guess. I've just like tried to like actually write anything for the group, but
so I mean, like, what sort of genre would you write to then, Rory?
I don't know. I'm honestly more of like a bluesy influence, like rock and roll kind of guy.
You play a lot of funk.
I love the funk. But
I used to be into funk a lot too back in like high school and stuff.
Me and Logan were in guitar class together in like grade 10, and I swear to God, that's when I like got much better at the guitar, because I was just playing with Logan. Like our guitar teacher would be like, "Okay, play Ode to Joy," and
oh wow, there it is.
Logan would just go and jam for like an hour every day.
It's funny. I was only playing that the other day. Like, I've recently gone back to playing classical guitar. Like, I really have like fallen in love with playing classical lately, just for like the counterpoint and like thinking about the guitar like a piano, of like holding your bass notes and playing your lead lines and stuff. And I think that pours over so much into what you're saying of like the ability to play rhythm and lead lines at the same time and be able to like play a chord, run up, play the riff, go back, like, you know exactly what's going on. Like, I really try and push myself as much as I can on the guitar to suck all that good shit up. And I think classical, it's got a lot of good stuff in it though. Like, as much as we all fucking hated guitar class when we were kids.
Well, I could still make money off it. I knew a kid who, like, right after that class where he was talking about, he went and played Ode to Joy for an hour outside 7-Eleven. He made $20.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you know, who's gonna pay more? Like, I'd pay more for Ode to Joy than fucking Wonderwall.
I'd also love to shout out Kent, because he can't be here right now, but like, Kent has been our great enabler. Like, he's got the jam space. Like, we wouldn't be able to really do this without Kent. And he's also just been like a PR wizard as well.
Yeah,
like, he's been the one getting us all the shows and merch and shit.
That's who you've been talking to.
Yeah. He did say it was Kent. It's a shame he couldn't make it, because like, I can only speak from like talking to him over Instagram, but like, he seems like a really, really sound guy.
Yeah,
he's got the best dance moves for sure.
So, on that, do you guys have your? Fucking Logan letting us down here. He's going for the paper.
Got it.
Nice.
Right, guys. So, we're going to be drawing our best bird with arms. So you can pick any bird that you like, but it's got to be a bird that has got a set of arms. I don't care if he's muscular or skinny. We got 1 minute. Let's draw our best bird that we can with arms.
Oh shit, I didn't study.
Done. It's a masterpiece.
Right on. Who's going first? Are we all going at once?
All at once. 3, 2, 1. Wow. We've got some hedge birds.
That's right.
Yours is a penis, man. Like...
I went for like a jacked duck.
Yo, Ryan, yours is so good. What the fuck?
Oh, thanks, man. Yours is interesting.
Yeah,
I was gonna draw weights, but I didn't have time.
Ryan, why is your bird
Rory, that's a
bending over,
cock.
dude?
Rory,
Yeah,
drew,
it's actually a
yours is
chicken,
cock,
Ryan.
man.
If you look closely.
I was chatting to some friends yesterday, and we ended up on like a weird conversation of talking about birds with arms. I just think it's an amazing fucking concept. Like, if I came back as anything, it would be a bird with arms, because I think that would be the best animal in the world.
Why? Why? Is that the best animal in the world?
Why? Because you could be like fucking picking things up with your feet and flying along and eating a fucking pizza and you know, telling someone to go fuck themselves.
It's arms and wings.
Everything. Yeah, you can't fly with arms.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you tried.
Just this muscly
It's a
bird, just
flightless
like
bird.
like gorilla running at you.
Well, guys, it's been a sincere pleasure speaking to you. Really, really looking forward to hearing this EP. We haven't really talked about it, but you know, I'm sure this is a little bit of a way off. But it'd be fucking awesome to see you guys here in the UK as well. I think there's so many bands coming out of the UK that you guys fit well with. So there's so many bills that you would work on.
That'd be sweet.
You know, that would be maybe like a bit of a longer term goal, but like let's see if we can make that happen as well. I'll see if I can chat to some promoters this end and see what's going on. Who knows?
I am down. I am down.
Who knows?
Let's fucking do it.
You guys seem like well fucking gelled together. Like, I can tell that you guys have been mates for like a decade. You're just fucking
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I grew up with Rory. And then
Yeah, literally from fucking kindergarten.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, you got some secrets about each other then, huh?
Yeah, a couple.
That's for the next interview, yeah.
Yeah, we'll say that for the next one. Well, thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
Thanks a lot.
You as well.
Thank
man.
you so
Thank
much.
Good luck with everything. Keep making fucking cool music. Keep driving the meaning into it, and can't wait to hear what comes out.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Take it easy, Sean.